Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to discuss about another very important topic related to Angular ngIf directive, that is how to use logical operators with ngIf directory. Okay, so this thing we are going to discuss in this particular session, where we will see how we can implement more than one condition, if condition in ngIf directive, how to use AND operator or not operator. Okay, but before we proceed with the session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for time being we are just mainly focusing on how to implement ngIf directive with logical operator. Okay, fine, so let's get started. So firstly, what we will do, I'll explain you the requirement, like why do we need to implement logical operator with ngIf directive. So for that, here I'm on app.component.html file, which is my HTML file. Here what I will do, I will print two headings. So first heading would show welcome. It will show welcome to Sharmit. Okay, and then similarly we have another heading which will show access denied. Okay, so these are the two messages which I want to show, but at a time one message should be populated. Whenever I am saying message, that means I'm talking about this heading. Okay, fine, so let's run the application first. So I will write here ng serve -- open and enter. It will take few seconds and open the application for us. So in case if there is any error, it will show the error, but now it is executed. Fine. Okay, so here you can see we have got three headings. One is the main heading, Angular directive by demo by Sharmit. Second one is welcome to Sharmit, and third one is access denied. Now here we are talking about the requirement, like why do we need to implement all why do we need to implement the logical operator with ngIf directive. So assume there is a scenario where we want to print either welcome to Sharmit or access denied based on the username and password. Okay, so for this type of scenario, it is always recommended to check both the things together, and for that we will use the logical operators. How? Let me show you. So what we will do now, we will define, let's go here app.component.ts file. In this ts file we will define two variables. One would be user ID, where I will store value as ts123. okay, second would be password, where we will store the value as password 123. Okay, now based on these two value, that means when user ID is ts123 and password is 123, only in that case we will print this message which is welcome to Sharmit. If either ID or password is not matched, then in that case we will show this message access denied. Okay, now let's see how we will implement this logic. So firstly what I will do, I will put it in a template. So I'll write here ng template, and then we will copy this h2 heading here. Now you can save it. Okay, now likewise we will add another template, ng template. Okay, and in this ng template we will put this access denied. Perfect. Now let's give some name to these blocks, otherwise how we will refer it, right? So we will write here logged in block. Similarly we will add here logged out block. Okay, now you can save it. Perfect. So when you go to the browser, you will see now it is not visible, because these blocks will be visible only when we will explicitly call this function, not call, like whenever we execute this template. Okay, so to execute this, what we will do, we will use here ng container, and remember one thing, these all things are case sensitive, so write it accordingly. Okay, Here what we will do, we will use *ngIf, which is ngIf. star ngIf. Okay. Now when you take your mouse cursor here, you will see this message that ngIf directive was used in template, but neither the ngIf directive nor the common module was imported. So to fix this issue, what we will do, we will go to app.component.ts file. Here in this import section, we will put common module. Okay. Once you write common module, it will automatically add this line. In case if it is not added, please add it manually, because without this it won't work. Okay. So now we have added this thing. Now let's go to again HTML file. Here we will add the condition. So firstly you can write equal. Then here in this double quote we will define our condition. So my condition is that I want to check user ID and it should be equal. So for equal we will use here triple equal to. Why? Because it will check both things, type as well as value. So it should be equal to TS123. Again, this is case sensitive, so make sure that you are providing everything in a same case. Then space. Here I will use double and symbol, which will act as a AND operator. After that we will use here password. In password we will again use triple equal to and we'll put the value as 123. Okay, fine. Now just after this, what we will do, we will simply put semicolon and then here we will write then. After this, what we will execute the logged in block. So if ID is TS123 and password is 123, then we will define here, we will call this logged in block, then put semicolon. Else if this if either this value or this value, any one of it, the value is incorrect, so in that case mismatch, then in that case we will execute the logged out block. Perfect. Okay. So now once you save it, you will see that everything is stored perfectly. Now you can see what output we are getting. We are getting the output as welcome to Tech Sharmit. Why? Because password is TS123 and user ID is TS123 and password is 123. Now check one more thing. If you change any of the value, let's say instead of 123 I make it as 1234 and save it. So in this case we will get the output as access denied. Why? Because user ID is matched, but we are using the AND operator. So firstly it will check for this is true or false. It is true, right? Then it will check this condition, it is true or false. It is false. So if any of the condition is false, in that case it will simply go to else block, and else block is showing the message as logged out block, which is access denied. Same thing goes with user ID. So let's say if you make it as TS1234, so here again you will find the same message, access denied. Why? Because here we are checking user ID TS123, no, it is false. Password is 123, which is true. So false and true, again it will give you the false result, that is access denied. Now some of you might be thinking like, what will happen if we are providing both values wrong? So again it will show the access denied. Why? Because now you can see this is false and this is also false. So it will only work when both values returns true. If any of the value is false, it will not work, and it will work, but it will throw the message which is access denied. Clear? So I hope this session is clear to all of you. Now one more thing I want to tell you here, like now you can see both values are true. So we are getting the value as welcome to Tech Sharmit. Now there is another operator. So we just discussed about the AND operator. Let me write it here for you. Okay. So for AND we will use AND operator. Then let me put BR also here, BR tag. Then we have OR operator. So for OR we will use this. Okay. And likewise we have NOT operator. So in case of NOT operator, you will use the exclamation mark. This is NOT condition. So as per your requirement, you can use any of this. Okay. So in case of OR, what will happen? Like if you make it as OR, so it will check any of the one condition. So if any of the one condition is true, it will show you the true condition message. Okay, so let's verify that. Here if I make the password as 0, still it will show me the welcome to Tech Sharmit. Why? Because user ID is correct. So you can see welcome to Tech Sharmit, and this is the information which I had added in the bottom. Okay, so if any of the one value, let's say if this is correct 1 2 3 and user ID is wrong, so again it will show you the message welcome to Tech Sharmit, because one of the condition is true. So basically in OR case, what it will do, it will check both condition. If any of the value is true, it will print the OR block. If any of value is false, it will check for the next value, and if it is true, it will print the message, otherwise it will skip it. Okay, so in case of AND operator, it will check if the value, if both values are true. In case of OR operator, it will check if any of one value is true, and in case of NOT, it will check it should not be equal. Okay, so that you can use as per your requirement. If you have any questions or queries while doing practice, then you can put it in a comment section so that I can try to help you. So yeah, that's all for today. See you in the next session. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.